So this is a little video that I'm doing about an experience I just had. Uh, I had to go in for a hernia surgery, and when I was thinking about what to do about all that stuff, I decided when I knew that I had to go in for a surgery, I decided that I want to go to a government hospital instead of private, because I told myself that I wanted that experience, to be in a ward with other people next to me and not in a private room with all that kind of stuff like you get in a private hospital. I want to go and experience all that kind of stuff, and people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, well, I've been in a private hospital before, not for an operation but for other things. It's kind of boring. I know I'm talking about operation, which is not necessarily boring or whatever the fuck it is, but private hospitals are boring. So I thought, okay, for this one, let's do a government, stay at a government hospital, and see kind of what goes down. So I wanted the experience, and you'll see as we go along in the story how many times I had to tell myself, "You wanted this experience. Now shut the fuck up and get on with it." Because I had to say that to myself multiple times. So this is what happens. Stay tuned. I'm calling this one Three Hernias and a Screamer. And you see all, what that means as we go along. For Three Hernias, Screamer, all that kind of stuff. About the people I met, the friends I made, the different stories, uh, all the ups and downs and all of that. So keep watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'm hoping this helps somebody out who might be in the same situation that I was in before and what I had to go through. So maybe this might clear things up a little bit for somebody as well. I'm hoping it does. If not, at least I, I had a bit of an experience, so I'm sharing it. Hang on. It started off with a little bump. So as usual, trying to be optimistic and not jump to conclusions. I was thinking, okay, put him off you know, it'll pass, it'll get back to normal. But if I found a little bump on the left side of my groin, uh, and like we do, I tried to ignore it, live with it for like 2.5 months. And then since it wasn't going away the way I wanted it to go away, checked up on it and found out that it possibly is a hernia. I was thinking, oh shit. A lot of things going in my head like, shit, this needs a surgery, right? It's not one of those things where you can give medication for and kind of sort out, right? So I was thinking, oh shit, never had an operation before. What do I do now? Kind of thing. But then, fuck it, you have to sort out, right? So did the research, figure out that's what it was. Went to see a doctor, and of course he said, yep, you got a hernia. It's like, fantastic. Now I'm thinking, gonna fucking cut me open, do the whole pushing that shit back in, sewing it up, recovery. Fuck it. If you got to do it, right? If you got to do it, you got to do it. There's no way around it. So I thought, okay, let's set a date and let's get it done. So once the date was set, they told me, okay, turn up on this particular date in the morning at 6, like 6:15. Bring a white sarong and a white shirt. We'll do some tests, and once those are done, do the operation, and by next afternoon, you can go home. It's like, doesn't sound too bad, right? It's like, that's all right, I can manage that. But that's when it got interesting. And I started thinking, okay, I've never had an operation before. Never actually spent time in like an open ward. Last time I was in hospital for anything like an overnight, I was at one of the private hospitals, get your own room kind of number. So didn't actually know what it was like to be in the general public, as they say. So I thought, why not try that? You know, get that experience. I told myself, I want that experience. I have to do this anyway. So instead of going private, why not go to government hospital and go through that process, see what happens, see what we see, learn what we learn, feel what we feel, all that kind of stuff. Meet who we meet, and we met some people for sure. Um, so I said, yeah, fuck it. Let's go to government hospital uh, and see what happens. So the date was set. Um, all I had to do was get my shit together, get my mind together, prepare for this shit, and then turn up on the day. So the day came around, woke up super early, like, I don't know, like 5 or something like that. Still and then already put my white sarong, white shirt on, got a little backpack with an extra sarong on because I was like, shit, if I have to bleed all over my white sarong, that's not going to be cool. Uh, Naturally, had a backup, put that also in the bag, put some shit in there, phone, a little bit of money, because I was fully expecting to be there, get there in the morning, do the operation, get like passed out on the bed for a few hours, have some pain involved, and by next day, get kicked out, be back home, start recovering, right? But that's not how it went at all. Well, partly. So I got to hospital early morning. So they got me to sit down. There's a whole bunch of other people. They were all there for similar things. I think with me, I was calling it a batch while I was there because there was like 7 of us who all had different stages of hernias that needed to be operated on. Uh, so we were all sitting there waiting for the doctor to see us. So initially you get seen by, this is just so people who watch these things kind of know what the process is. So you see the trainee doctors first who are there. So they come around, take your details down, figure out what's what. Uh, and then have you sit down a little bit longer. You go with the nurse and do some tests. At the moment, you have to do all kinds of different tests before any kind of operation is done, which includes antigen test, among other things, and a PCR test. So these things have to be done before you can go in for an operation. So this is what happened in the morning. So I was there by like 6:15. By the time these tests were done, it was probably 8 in the morning. So I kind of spent 2 hours hanging around wondering what the fuck is going on. I hung out because I'm there for the day anyway. Um, so take the test, whatever, sit around and just wait. Uh, and then the first uh, interesting thing happened. Well, there's I was sitting with this other guy next to me. Uh, I call him the believer because I'll get to that later. The believer and me. So he was next to me. And of course, there is no um, social distancing at all here. Uh, what I forgot to mention before was even getting in the gate from the outside, proper Sri Lankan fashion, which is why, like I said, I wanted this experience to kind of see how this shit goes down, right? So even from the gate, in very Sri Lankan, typical Sri Lankan fashion, people are fucking pushing you around, jumping in, like, yes, the mask's on, but that's about it. Uh, Push, shove, get in as if they are fucking running into hospital to get some award. They want to get in first. So that happens. And then again on the inside also while you're waiting, there is no one seat left for safety between you and somebody else. You just fucking sit there because there's so many people. The ward is full. Not many seats to sit on. So you just go and fucking sit wherever, right? Just keep your mask on, keep your sanitizer with you, and just get on with it. So there we are, me and the believers next to me, and on the next seat, right here, waiting for the main doctor to come and check us out, and then we start hearing it. This is called the three hernias and the screamer. This is about the screamer. This is where the screamer first made an appearance. Uh, It's not a joke. It, it was kind of funny at the time, but at the same time, that guy was in so much fucking pain. He was screaming his fucking lungs out, and I am not exaggerating. I'll put a little clip on here, so you can hear what that sounded like. You will not see who he is. Obviously, I don't want to, do that. But you will hear the kind of pain that boy was in. So he's screaming his fucking guts out. I'm sitting there thinking, respect the man's dignity. Don't look, because everybody, as you do, everybody in that fucking ward was like, who the fuck is that, right? Everybody's looking. The believer next to me is also looking. This bugger next to me, I can't remember who that was. He's looking. The nurse is looking. Nurse is actually having a little laugh because I think that happened regularly. So he was screaming his guts out, and everybody's looking. I was like, nah, don't look, man. Pow. If he's in so much fucking pain, don't do the next worst thing and start fucking staring at him like, oh, manadu ne, that kind of bullshit. Leave the fucker alone. But of course, I couldn't help myself. I didn't turn. I just looked at this bloody metal cabinet in front of me, and I could see through the reflection like a whole bunch of people huddled around one bed. But I couldn't see what was going on. All I could hear was the screaming, and that boy was in some fucking pain. So he was screaming for like half an hour straight at least.